Good evening, all. In continuing my reviews of various LGBTQIA movies, we come to one of the strangest, most bizarre movies I've ever seen in my entire life, and that is 2021's After Blue, also known as Dirty Paradise or Paradis Salé. It's a French movie. It was written and directed by Bertrand Mandico, and it stars Elina Lowensohn as Zora, Paula Luna as Roxy, Vimala Pons as Sternberg. Her first name is Victoria Sternberg. Ageta Buzek as the principal character, Kate Bush, whose real name is Katarzyna Bushinsky. She's Polish. They explain that later. Mikhail Erdelding as Olgar II, who is an android. Mava Taquin as Chiara. Claire Clavarun as Luz, and Claire, I can't read my own writing, Claire Dubercq as Iris. Those are three quote-unquote friends of Roxy's, though they're actually really more like her antagonizers. And they play a very interesting role in the movie. This movie is almost indescribable. I know I've said that about other films, but this one is really almost indescribable. It's a lesbian science fiction Western that may sound like fun, but actually it's not. When you think Western, think like for a fistful of dollars or a few dollars more. Really, or the good, the bad, and the ugly, really a serious Western sort of space opera. The plot, and I'm just going to summarize it because it is really too bizarre to go into intricate detail. There is a planet known as the Earth died, basically, and there was a socioeconomic collapse, and people looked for a new planet, and they found one. The name of the planet is After Blue. For some reason, men cannot or could not survive on After Blue. They grew hairs inside their throat that choked them to death because of the atmosphere of the planet. It's explained, only women could survive. So ovarian bearers, they say, only human beings with ovaries could exist. They reproduce by artificial insemination from sperm based on Earth sperm banks that they brought with them. They brought no technology, no screens, no computers, no tech. They have biotechnology. They do have, interestingly enough, guns which seem to be some sort of energy weapons, but they're named after fashion designers. There's a rifle, it's called a Gucci. There's a pistol, it's called a Paul Smith. There's another kind of pistol that's named after another designer. I don't remember. And the principal plot is that Roxy, who is the main character, this blonde girl, is on the beach with these three friends of hers, and they're kind of tormenting her. Her name is Roxy, but they call her Toxic in French. And because again, I guess it sounds a little bit like the same, but they always tease her with that. And she sees a woman buried in the sand. Only her face is visible. And she wants to dig her out, but the others say, don't do it. She could be being punished. You don't know why she's here. And she's compelled, oddly, by this woman to dig her out, and she does. And it turns out that's a mistake because the woman is, in fact, a criminal. She is a murderer known as Kate Bush. And they say later on that her name is not really Kate Bush. It's Katarzyna Bushinsky. She's a Polish woman and a criminal. Though they don't really specifically say what her crime is. The first thing she says to Roxy, that she'll make her three deepest desires come true. And the first desire that she had was to kill her friends. And so Kate Bush kills her friends with this energy rifle, and then disappears. And they go back to Roxy goes back to her village and tells the village elders all of what happened. Uh, the elders are very upset, and they want her and her mother, who is the village hairdresser, uh, to go out and find and kill Kate Bush, or else they're going to be expelled from the village, and possibly killed themselves. We don't really know. They're threatened, and they give her a horse. They have brought horses from Earth, and they have a sort of a telepathic power. They can communicate with horses somehow, though we don't actually see that take place. Also through a drug. I think they inject the horse with a drug, and then they can telepathically communicate with the horses. They also have like a gem on their. They wear like a carapace, and the gem changes colors. And they don't really explain that in the movie. The movie is beautiful. It's shot in mostly shades of blue, pink, and purple. And is infused with like bright green and red and gold at various points. Really beautiful cinematography, and the set decoration is fantastic. The props are really good. The costuming is excellent. You really believe that you're on this weird, wild planet. Anyway, Zora and Roxy now set off into the wilderness. They leave their little town and village, and which is called, I think, From Above, and they go off into the wilds, into these mountains, where they're going to look for the mine where Kate Bush lives, and they figure she'll go back there. She's sort of a creature of habit, and then they can trap her and kill her. Well, things obviously do not go as planned. They meet a wild, kind of a beautiful artist named Sternberg, and Zora kind of falls for her a bit, and she also has a quote-unquote male companion that she doesn't understand. How can you have a man? How can this person live here? And finally she reveals he's not a real man. He's an android. He's a duplicate. His name is Olgar too, and he's a duplicate of her lover. But he doesn't have typical male genitalia. Instead, he has tentacles, which I thought was kind of bizarre. Maybe again that's sort of just supposed to be some sort of futuristic extrapolation of what males might have become at that point in history. We don't know how far in the future this is supposed to take place. It could be very far. So they go off. They go to the mine. Like I said, they meet this character Sternberg, who's kind of a bit of a drunk, but she's an artist and creates these great sculptures and things. And they're all sort of out. Everything's out in the woods, so it has a kind of a bizarre quality. You see these beautiful paintings and sculptures and things, but they're all out in the wild, in the wilderness, in this palette of blues and greens and purples and pinks. A lot of bizarre kind of things happen. And again, without giving away too much of the plot, eventually they meet. There are two killers who sort of work for Sternberg, who are also artists, who are called. We gotta get their names. Kiefer and Climax. Their names, Kiefer and Climax. The only thing they know about Kate Bush that she has two kind of stigmata, things that are hers alone, and that's she has one hairy arm which ends in a claw, and it has like jagged nails that are sort of like metallic. I should say three. She has a tattoo over a blue heart, I think, over her left breast, and she has an eye above her mons pubis, a third eye, as it were, in her crotch. And these are the, if you will, to borrow from PKD, the three stigmata of Kate Bush. They go on this wild adventure. They hunt her down, and allegedly, and this is something that's a deception, obviously, Kiefer and Climax kill her. They bring back her corpse and they show it to them. But you can't really see a whole lot, except that the corpse does have a hairy arm. And it's badly burned, and you can't really tell very much. And we the audience, and Roxy also know this isn't Kate Bush that they killed. they encounter the real Kate Bush on the way. They mount her up to the saddle, and they're going to take her, Zora and Roxy are going to take her back to the village and say, see, we did what you asked us, you can let us back in now, we killed Kate Bush. On the way, they meet a kind of a traveling stranger who Roxy knows is actually the real Kate Bush, because she knows what her face looks like. She's the only one who's seen her face. And she's a rather pretty blonde, and she knows, what she looks like. And Zora asks her to, or this woman asks Zora to shave her, which she does, and not realizing all the time that she's actually shaving the real Kate Bush. This is all being told in flashback by Roxy, and we hear voices like asking her what happened. And we don't realize who the voices are until the very end. It's revealed that Roxy has developed one of these third eyes. What it does is it allows her to see the dead, including her friends. And Zora goes back to the village. All the villagers are dead. Obviously, Kate Bush had gotten to the village before them and killed everybody. But they, or at least she, that is Roxy, can still see them because she's developed this third eye in her crotch too, and now she can see all the dead loved ones, she says. And it ends on kind of an ambiguous note. The cinematography in this thing is fantastic. It's wild. It's bizarre. The only really appropriate word I can use, and even this word is not adequate, is psychotronic. It just messes with your mind. It's completely weird. It's bizarre. There's strange angles, bizarre shots. The set decoration is fantastic, and the design of the props and the costumes and things is just really weird and out there. It feels like a 1970s dystopian science fiction movie. It sort of reminded me a little bit of the Final Program, which is another bizarre psychotronic movie that really, you end up going, what the heck did I just watch? And that's the same with this. The final scene is really bizarre. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it, but I think I understand what it means. I'm not entirely certain, but it's really quite bizarre. And again, great soundtrack, great editing, great lighting. It won 4 awards. It won the 74th Carcano Film Festival. It won the Philip Prezi Prize, whatever that is. At the Fantastic Film Fest 2021, it was named the best film. In the CGS Film Festival, it won the Special Jury Prize and also the Jose Luis Corona Critics Award. So it's 4 awards. It's gotten very high reviews on Rotten Tomatoes, and again, I highly recommend it. But a couple of warnings here. One, if you don't like violence and or gore, I might avoid this. There's some kind of shocking scenes, but again, none of it is too over the top, and there's nothing really that disgusting. The term dirty is used in Dirty Paradise because things are dirty. They're like dripping, pulsing, wet, awful, kind of squishy stuff all over the place. And this is not a clean planet. And I thought that added a lot of verisimilitude, a lot of reality to the visualization of the planet. The cinematography is just fantastic, and the set decoration, set dressing, lighting, sound, soundtrack, all really quite excellent editing. And it richly deserved those prizes, and it should have won quite a few more in my estimation. So again, a bizarre, lesbian, Western, science fiction, dream-like, strange experience. That's all I can call it.